efforts. And then kind of the same thing with any of the individuals who want to provide debris cleanup or service on their own time. On your own time, that is fine. We're just not able to offer, if you want to go to a different area outside of your chapter's boundaries, it's not on your own time, that is fine, but we're not able to offer Master Naturalist volunteer service time for that.
I apologize. I forgot to start recording until about halfway through that slide. So
I
for
did
those
too.
listening to the recording, we jumped in just a little early, but just covered some of the flood recovery efforts, and we'll share those slides with you as well as with this recording. All right, Michelle, you want to keep going?
Yep. And we started off, this is our July President's meeting. July 29th today, and then you can see here our schedule for the rest of the year. August 26th will be our next one. These typically happen the last Tuesday of the month. They are recorded and then usually posted to our website by the next day on our Master Naturalist or Naturalist news page. So those of you who want to go back and see any other information or catch the notes, that stuff will be posted on our Master Naturalist website.
Yeah, and one note here specifically, especially with the content we're going to share today about all things annual meeting, I had a few presidents reach out and ask, can my members attend the president's meetings? While we don't ask for members to attend the president's meetings, those are limited to just the presidents, they are available as those recordings and slides on the website, as Michelle said, the following day, for you to be able to grab that link and share and forward to your members as they want to. So if there's information that you find that we present today that you want to share with your members, snippets, grabs, or all of it, all of the above, feel free to grab that after we attend. Otherwise, this meeting today where we're having this interaction and being able to see your face gets a little too crowded if we have it open to everybody. So just presidents and advisors for the live event, and then sharing those recordings and slides afterwards with anybody.
Yeah, and the intent of these meetings really is if you're able to assist in boiling down the information and sharing it with your membership in a palatable, maybe palatable isn't the most, but bite-sized way. So
exactly. All right, moving into some state office programming, just some general updates. We've shared the next couple of slides a couple of times, but just to keep everybody updated. We are working through our 2025 project award for our Pollinators for Texas program with the support from HEB's Our Texas, Our Future. As mentioned previously, they were a sponsor for this program, a partner in this program for $80,000 this year. And the timeline for the 2025 project is highlighted here. We are in the award notification season. So Hannah Thornton, our program manager for the Pollinators for Texas project, will be notifying those chapters that have been awarded within the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So if you are one of the 21 applications that were received earlier this summer, please stay tuned and look out for an email from her in the next couple of weeks. I know she was pulling all those last bits together as of earlier this week. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks or so, we're looking to have that notification out. If you are a 2024 awarded chapter, please make sure that you're checking your email from her as well, as she just recently sent out the mid-year report request. Those are due at the end of this week, which is the end of this month, so July 31st. If you are needing more information or need that mid-year report link again, please email Hannah Thornton, and her email address is on this page here, TMN Pollinators for Texas at ag.tmu.edu. Again, our kitchen sink for all things Pollinators for Texas is that website, QR coded and linked there. And those webinars are still active on that website as well. So going fast here, but we've said all of that stuff before. Some new updates for some projects and requests that we've sent to your email inbox this summer. We are currently still working through a website survey. So this is our opportunity to go through the breadth and width of all chapter websites, see if we have all of the information that we need from you, cataloged about your chapter website, who's managing it, what resources you are currently using, the storage levels that you have on your website, as well as seeking feedback on tools and resources that you may not be currently utilizing but would like to utilize. So this chapter survey takes maybe 15 to 20 minutes. The deadline that we're requesting is July 31st. Our other student worker, Christian Lopez, is managing this survey for us. So he was the one who sent out that email about 2 weeks ago or so. And so there are 31 chapters who have completed that survey. The list of those that we have not heard from yet are here. So please make sure if you're on that list to reach out and fill out that survey, or reach out to Christian if you have any questions about some of those questions there.
Yeah, just to reiterate, so you probably got the reminder 2 weeks ago. The survey has been open for about a month now. So, and then closes July 31st.
Yeah, and he may not have updated this list in the last couple of days. If Bluestem is sent in their survey, let's make sure that we've got that with Christian. But he did send me this list about 2-3 days ago to put into this slide set, so it might just be a little outdated. All right, Michelle, you want to cover this one?
Just a reminder again, the Presidential Volunteer Service Award program has been placed on pause. So those pins, certificates, and the letters are not an item that we're able to get right now. But all other 4,000 hour pins and higher awards for the Master Naturalist program have been sent out. And those were sent around July 9th. So if you had, if you're a chapter that had some people on the list for 4,000, 5,000 hours and above, and you hadn't received your package yet, just please send me a note and I will check on those or send another package to you. This is our monthly reminder to chapters in our membership. And as leaders of your chapter, if you could just help continue to convey the message, proper use of the Master Naturalist title. I'm not going to go over every point on this slide again because we routinely do this every month, but it remains to be that our members need to be reminded routinely. So thank you for continuing to share that information. And then secondly, following up on that and kind of leading into our annual meeting also, just keeping the culture of kindness within the Master Naturalist program. As leaders, we ask you to help keep that culture of kindness. We strive as a program to create a family of Master Naturalists with a culture of kindness. And just please remember that you, our members, our chapters, and our Master Naturalists, our teams, all of our teams within the program matter. Our words matter. Please be respectful in all interactions. Our actions matter. Disruptive and aggressive behavior will not be tolerated and should not be tolerated. And then just remember our Master Naturalist Code of Ethics and Standards of Conduct. Those matter also. They are there for a reason. We appreciate everyone's cooperation in creating an atmosphere of mutual respect and kindness at all levels of the organization and within the project and communities within which we serve. So as leaders, if you could help continue that culture of kindness and just remind our membership as well.
Absolutely. Michelle, why don't you take us home to the annual meeting slides?
2025 training class information and application periods are open across the state for many of our chapters. And Hannah has been mentioning this slide for the past couple of months. If you are a chapter that has an application period open right now, you're planning for one for the fall, you're planning for a training session for the fall, and even coming up into the new year, if you would provide that information through our website, and we can get everything updated on the website. As we mentioned, we hope that the Master Naturalist website is kind of the kitchen sink of all things. It's where potential volunteers go first to find a chapter and learn more about the program and get involved. And we want to help you, we want to help them get to you as chapters that are providing the training in the local communities. So, but we can't have that information if you don't send it to us and fill out the form on the website. So there's a QR code there to take you right to that and add the information. And so just please update that as you have more information coming on. Other things with from Hannah's perspective training, we have upcoming roundtables. We just recently held in the past couple of months a training director roundtable. Hannah is planning another training director roundtable at the annual meeting, Saturday, October 18th, from 2 to 3 p.m. in the Laurel Room. Again, that is at and during the Master Naturalist annual meeting. We will be recording that and adding it to our Naturalist news page after the meeting closes that following week. And then we're also planning a communication director roundtable at the annual meeting. It's Friday, October 17th. From 8 to 9 a.m. again in the Laurel Room at the annual meeting. This one will not be recorded, but for those of you and your communication directors attending, if you have your chapter members that are communication directors within your chapter attending the annual meeting, we'd really love to have them there, or a designee is welcome too. Reminder of our TMN Tuesdays. Our next one is August 12th. And there's a lot of information on this slide that we cover routinely. So let's go to the next slide. Our presenter for our August TMN Tuesday is Hunter Reed. He is one of our wildlife veterinarians with Texas Parks and Wildlife. And he'll be talking about a new project that Master Naturalist, he's seeking some Master Naturalist chapters within some urban communities to get involved with on a CWD Sentinel project and setting out some stations within these urban communities. So August 12th, and you can share the announcement and sign up for that right from this QR code too.
All right, I'm going to jump into all things annual meeting. Before I do, Michelle, there's some chatter in the chat, some questions in the chat for you to answer if you're available to do so. All right, so I'm going to spend the next probably good chunk of the meeting talking about all things annual meeting. I have expanded this slide set from the last time. One of the questions that was asked in the chat about using these slides, feel free to use these slides as you need to be able to share these updates with your chapter members. So here we go. So we are working through our timeline and we are almost there to when all the things start to really happen. So in the first parts of August is when we're going to be opening registration. I'll talk about that here in just a second. And then our registrations dates and deadlines, our contest entry deadlines, TMN Tuesday, project fair, and so much more. So we're getting so close to the waterfall or the snowball effect of the annual meeting as far as dates and deadlines. As Michelle said, one of the things that we want to continue to stress with all members is our code of conduct. We have had an annual meeting code of conduct for several years now. It's shared on our website, it's shared on our app, it's shared in the registration process with all members when they sign up to attend the annual meeting. But I am going to read you just this top line here. And as I said, it is also linked, as you can see, it's also linked on our website. We have established this conference code of conduct as a positive step towards a safe and equitable gathering. All who are registered should agree to abide by this code, and we provide it below in full for your familiarity and reference. And by below, I mean through that link on the website and on the app as well. And then everybody as well, thank you for being part of creating a safe, collaborative, supportive, and productive meeting environment. So some agenda overviews and some updates since the last time that we talked. At the first part of July, we shared the full agenda. We have 130 classroom sessions and 26 field sessions on this year's agenda. Our chapter leadership luncheon is one for you to write down in your portfolio or on your agenda as a chapter president or a chapter advisor. This will be Thursday, October 16th at 11:30 a.m. In the main ballroom. That'll be on the first floor of the conference center. If you are a chapter president or chapter advisor, please make sure that you are registering for that session when you're going through your registration process so that we have a head count for the meal that will be provided. If you are not able to attend that chapter leadership luncheon, please make sure that you designate one attendee from your chapter leadership, either current or incoming, to be that attendee, and have them register in the registration process as well. We will be live streaming and recording this one since it's being offered in our ballroom. We have the equipment set up there to be able to do so. And so if you're not attending the annual meeting and you still want to attend, again, we'll have that available. And we'll be sharing that link as we get closer. One of the things that I've had a few folks ask is we have 3 different styles of agenda on our website and that we were sent out in the listserv not too long ago. We have a matrix agenda, we have the long agenda with all of the sessions, and then we have the CVent website. The most up-to-date web agenda is our CVent website agenda. There have been some minor changes in dates and times for some of the sessions, if they're moving rooms or if they're starting at different times. So please make sure that you're checking that agenda. And then we'll be updating those other 2 matrix and long agenda on our website as we get major updates as well. And I see there's some chat questions. I'll come back to those. I'll take a breath here in just a little bit and come back to those. Some agenda highlights. Our conference really starts on Thursday, but we have Thursday at dinner time, but we have pre-event opportunities starting all the way as early as of Wednesday morning. So we have several pre-event field sessions that start as early as I think 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and then have some pre-event field sessions Thursday morning. Obviously, I just mentioned our chapter leadership lunch starts at 11:30 on Thursday, and then really registration and the conference itself starts at about 1 o'clock on Thursday. We're finalizing that registration start time for 1 o'clock, but as soon as I have that final time, I'll be sharing that on this slide and on the app and website and everywhere else as well. Friday and Saturday are busy days of classroom and field sessions. We have 14 different rooms, 7 hours of class and field session, or 7 hours of sessions happening. Our keynote presentation Friday evening will be our TMN Tuesday for October. So that will be live streamed as well during that event. And then our student science fairs at lunch on Saturday, quiz bowl Saturday evening, awards dinner, all of that is will be happening. So Saturday is going to be a very long day, but very busy. And then our Sunday ends with our contest awards starting at 8 a.m. We usually end up rounding out the conference no later than about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. Michelle, will you interrupt me if there's some questions that I need to answer in the chat?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So field sessions specifically. What to expect with your field sessions. This has been a big question that we get asked a lot. So our field sessions are geared to exploring the Brazos Valley ecosystems, different research labs, restoration sites, local partnerships that are happening throughout that single or multi-county area around the conference, usually within about a 45-minute to 1 hour radius around the conference site. As I mentioned, we have pre and post meeting opportunities. A couple of these field sessions this year do include service opportunities. That's notated in the long description of the conference descriptions. Some highlights: the Schubert Center, the Entomology Lab, Lick Creek Park, Milliken Reserve. We have some really great places that I'm just so jealous of everybody that gets to attend all of the sessions because I never get to go to all the places. Our field sessions are being led by Parks and Wildlife biologists, agri-life specialists, local master naturalists, and our partner organizations. Getting to and from field sessions, unfortunately, we are not able to provide transportation. With 26 field sessions this year, you can see how that could get very costly very fast. But we do encourage carpooling and caravanning with your fellow attendees. In order to provide the framework for being able to carpool and caravan, we'll be setting up a Slack channel using the Slack media tool. It's a communication dashboard that you can meet up with fellow attendees, type out your, hey, where you want to meet, whose car can I jump into, and kind of create that opportunity for those carpool and caravan sessions. So you'll be using those those Slack channels. Those will be sent to all registered attendees in early October after registration closes and the final shuffle of attendee sessions, of session attendees list gets finalized. Some more on our field sessions, again, because this is one of the major questions that we get asked every year. All of our field sessions do have a limited attendee number, some of them as low as 6 and 12 attendees, some as much as 24 and 30 attendees. You can imagine a herd of master naturalists down the trail of 50 people going down a trail. You're not going to see a single darn bird. So we do have to limit our field session attendance in order to have the best experience possible. Registration for our field sessions always goes first, always happens within the first couple of hours once we open up registration. There's nothing I can do beyond just encouraging you to stay flexible, stay patient, and stay open for your plans potentially changing. We do also have wait lists. So once those field sessions get full, the system that we use automatically creates a wait list, and we'll start to populate that wait list on a first come, first served basis. And we'll email folks if the session attendees changes, if somebody drops out, the first person on the list will automatically get an email and let them know to jump into that spot. We do have a few sessions this year that have added fees. Those are notated on the long agenda. They're also notated on the website. And then you'll be paying those fees during registration or special gear required. So especially some of our birding trips, there's encouragement for bringing binoculars and hiking sticks and so on. All of that, again, is listed on that agenda. What to bring if you are attending a field session. The standard gear that you would on any sort of outdoor adventure as a master naturalist: dirty shoes, or your water bottle, snacks, bug spray, sunscreen, hat and sunglasses, a notebook and pen to take notes, as you're going to be overwhelmed with the amount of information that you'll be hearing along the trail, your master naturalist badge or shirt, and then again, any optional gear that you want to take as well. So some pro tips that we got from a couple of different folks as we were building out today's session list here, slide set here. Read those descriptions closely, because again, that's where you'll have all of that additional information on the who, the what, the where, the why, the how. Plan ahead for parking or access gates. So some of our sites are remote. And they may have some limitations in parking. All of that's shared in that pre-event Slack channel that you as an attendee will get. And then allow travel time to and from campus. We are on a college campus this year with our annual meeting being hosted at the A&M Conference Center and Hotel and Conference Center. And so there may be some additional traffic, not the type of traffic that you would get in Houston downtown traffic, but some college campus traffic. As folks are coming on and off to go to classes. And then again, be flexible. Y'all as master naturalists know you can do all the planning in the world to have the perfect event, and Mother Nature wants to throw you a good windstorm or a good rain shower. So be flexible for that. There is always a weather plan for all of our field sessions as well. Lodging. So our A&M Hotel and Conference Center that I mentioned is on campus is currently full. So we are sad if you weren't able to get a room. There have been a few rooms that I've seen pop up as folks come in and out and change their minds or have different issues. But it is, as of the last time I checked it, currently full. So we reached out to 3 local hotels, all within about a 2-mile range from the A&M Hotel and Conference Center. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Homewood Suites, and Comfort Suites, all with actually cheaper rates than our on-site hotel. So if you're interested in snagging one of those, all of those booking links are on our website. And then there's an opportunity with your fellow master naturalist to carpool caravan to the site and share in those rides back and forth. Okay, it feels like I'm kind of shotgunning this and throwing a little bit of everything everywhere, but again, we've got a ton of information, and all of these slides are going to be shared in our on our website afterwards, so you can pick and choose as you need to. So registration will be opening the first week of August. Hopefully that is at the end of this week, but I never want to say an exact date and time because the tech gods have not been in our favor in the past. And I will inevitably get an email at 6 a.m. on August 1st saying, why hasn't registration opened? And it is just the nature of us to try to stay flexible with the tech issues that we have seemed to have had over the last several years. So as soon as I press start now on the registration, we will press start now on the listserv email, the Facebooks, our Instagram, all of the same, all simultaneously. I can't say that word. So as soon as we start those, you'll be the first to know if you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, or on our listserv. Our early registration pricing and standard registration pricing are on our website, with early registration running just the month of August. So that early August window till August 31st. Standard registration will be all of September, September 1st through September 30th, with an increase in price for those standard registration fees. We also have the option to add in guest registration or guest meals for either the whole event or for individual items like the awards dinner, either Friday night or Saturday night. Again, all of that is on our website. So how do you register? If this is your first time attending the annual meeting, I can guarantee you that halfway through the registration process, you're going to get frustrated. It is an inevitability of having to pick your favorite child, having to pick your favorite session that you want to attend. It is difficult. Our registration is built around pre-registering for sessions because we have limited attendance at our field sessions and we have limited spots and seats in some of our classrooms. So some of our classroom sessions, our speakers have said, hey, I really only want 12 people in this room because I'm going to bring materials and resources for these 12 people. And so we need to be able to pre-register for those limited number of chairs and spots. Pre-registering for 130 different field sessions, classroom and field sessions, I know feels like a lot, but it helps our speakers have that information, have that ability to know who's coming and how many people are coming ahead of time. You do not have to pre-register for sessions if you're wanting to float, but that does not mean that means that you are not guaranteed a spot in any of those field sessions or any of those limited attendance classroom sessions. So planning for registration. Our registration process includes a couple of different pages. Obviously, it includes the demographic information, what's your name, what's your contact information. It includes your registration type page. Do you want to go full agenda, full registration for all the days, 2 days, 1 day? We have our session registration page. That's the third page in the process. That is the longest page where you can go through and select which sessions you want to attend. And then optional items and our checkout. So it's a 5-page process to register for the conference. So just keep that in mind. Making a plan B for your classroom sessions is important because again, as soon as you start registering, you're going to want to go to that one Monarch talk and it's going to be full like that and it's going to just derail you. So make a couple of different options for your sessions that you have some different classes and styles that you want to try. Also, try not to stress. If you don't get into the Monarch talk this year, we'll make sure that we invite that speaker to the conference next year, and we'll make sure that you get to go to that speaker. We'll make sure that you get to go to that classroom next year. So stay flexible, stay open to different talks and different sessions that you want to attend. All right, Michelle, again, please stop me if there's questions in chat that I can't answer. And I do have a Q&A section at the very end of this.
There's one real quick, since you asked. Will we be able to take Discover for payment this year?
No, so we're using a Stripe system for our credit card processing. So we do not take Discover cards. Great question. And that is outlined on our last page, I believe. I believe it's Amex, MasterCard, and Visa. I will double check that and put that on the website. Options. I'll put that early on so you'll have that. Thank you. Okay, so just for our chapter presidents, each chapter has a $100 registration discount that is in thanks to the wonderful silent auction that the Hayes County chapter offered last year. So those funds go directly back into the following year's conference to be able to provide these discount codes or travel stipends for each of the chapters. So each president should have received an email yesterday from me with those discount codes, with that individual discount code that you have for your chapter. We give the authority to the chapter presidents to select the recipient, but we encourage you to think through some ways to do that, voting as a board, having an application, or just doing a chapter lottery for that individual discount code for your chapter. You do not need to notify the state office, don't need to tell me who it's going to. You just need to make sure that that discount code is given to that person before they register so that they can add it at the very end. On that checkout page, that 5th page of registration, there's a discount code, just like with any sort of online purchasing, and that's where they will enter that in, apply that code, and it'll remove that $100 from their total registration fee. We do ask that that code is used by September 15th. Even though that registration doesn't end until September 30th, if you can use it by September 15th, that gives us some extra time to make sure that we've got all of the right tools and pieces in place for those. And then must be used during registration. It's not retroactive and it cannot be split. That actually was a question last year. So we can't split it and offer $50 here and $50 there. It's all just built in as one. Something I didn't think to add until just now, we do have a few other chapters who have asked about offering their own individual discount codes. I can't do that. I can't build in discount codes for other chapters. So if you wanted to send us money and then us put a discount code together, that's too much for our state to be able to handle with 49 chapters, and you can imagine how that would handle. But if you as a chapter are interested in providing a registration stipend or scholarship or travel fund for members of your chapter, please consider doing so locally, either having them paid ahead of time or paid after they attend the event, however you may want to do that. I know several chapters that offer scholarships to attend the conference. And we'll do that through applications, we'll do that through lottery, we'll do that through a variety of different ways. So please consider that as a chapter leader, providing those methods for those who may not be able to travel to the conference due to funding or financial strain. Find some ways to help them get there. Okay, so this slide is a lot, but it was something that we put together to be able to answer some questions for some of our other first-time attendees when you actually get there. You've registered, you've gone through the process, you're getting all of your stuff together, and you get to the conference. What can I expect when I get to the conference? What does it feel like to be at the annual meeting? So these are just a couple of things that we thought of. We have early morning meals with our whole community. Chapters from across the state come and gather for breakfast. Breakfast is our social time. There's no programs at breakfast. We want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to wake up at their own pace, but also gets a chance to visit with other members. So a good tip for our breakfast time, morning meals, is to sit with someone from another chapter or another region. Ask them what they're doing, how they're doing it, ask them about some of their projects, and get to know your fellow master naturalists from across the state. We have full days of classroom sessions. So in our classes, you're going to be sitting for long periods of time. Bring a notebook. You can bring some snacks, bring a refillable water bottle. There are some water bottle filler stations at this specific conference center this year. It is a marathon. There are a lot of classes going on. And so bring yourself prepared to learn and to sit and enjoy those programs for 2 full days. Also in our classroom sessions, where it says wear layers on the next one, but our classes do get cold, I typically bring a sweater downstairs with me when we go into the classrooms, because they do try to chill us out in those classrooms. So bring a layer as well. For our field sessions, again, rain or shine, we do have weather plans in place for our field sessions. And so you may be in a van or a carpool, and not an offered van, but a carpool or a caravan, 1 hour in a creek the next. So prepare your gear accordingly, sturdy shoes, be ready for surprises. Again, that nature doesn't follow a schedule is kind of a funny tip there. We have a huge list of vendors this year. We're really excited about our vendors, and I just got another one earlier this week, so I'm excited to get those folks to join us this year. Our vendors range from everything from um, jewelry and art print to partners and fellow organizations. So bring a bag to be able to carry your brochures, your swag, your purchased items, silent auction items that you may be purchasing, and to bring some resources to your local chapter. With our evening events like our socials, our quiz bowl, and our awards program, these are our casual fun nights. Folks like to get dressed up for our awards dinner on Saturday night. But don't be shy. Again, this is an opportunity for you to engage and meet other Master Naturalists from across the state, and a great way to engage in all things throughout the conference. There is an on-site coffee shop and snacks station in the hotel on the first floor, kind of on the opposite end from where the big ballroom is. But our coffee centers typically do get pretty busy during those peak in between times, in between sessions. So please plan ahead if you're somebody who needs to have your mid-morning or mid-afternoon coffee. Advanced training hours are earned through attending the different sessions that are there. We do have, I think there's one session this year on the agenda that is not an advanced training, and it's very clearly labeled. It has it in big bold text. So make sure that you're checking your agenda for that. But please check with your local chapter VMS admin on how they want your hours reported after the conference. And then volunteer recognition. So on Saturday night, we have our awards dinner and banquet where we'll be recognizing milestone and volunteer service impacts. So this is a chance to get loud, celebrate those accomplishments of your fellow attendees, or you as an attendee if you've reached a milestone this year. So please be in the audience Saturday night and join us to cheer loud for those folks. And then with all the buzz that happens inside, we are Master Naturalists. We do need to take our self into consideration. So make sure that you're building into your conference agenda opportunities to recharge yourself, to reconnect with the material that you're learning, reconnect with the grounding that you may need outdoors. While we are on a college campus, there are plenty of green spaces around the Texas A&M campus, the Leach Teaching Gardens, the Aggie Park. There's plenty of opportunities for walking throughout campus and enjoying the spirit of being on a college campus once again. So make sure that you're taking that time in between your sessions to step outside, or maybe even go upstairs to your hotel room and take a little break and take a breather for yourself as well. Michelle, do you have anything that you would want to add to this list as somebody who would be a first-time attendee?
That's pretty extensive. Covers it well.
So as a first-time attendee, if you have not packed for a conference, this is one of my favorite photos. I can't remember the gentleman's name. I think it was Jim Baker, texted me this photo the week before the conference last year and said, I just got out all my pins and I got them all shined up. And so when you're packing for the annual meeting conference, make sure that you're bringing your TMN swag, your pins, you're getting yourself all shiny and ready to show off your Master Naturalist pride for attending this year's conference. So we'll have a packing list shared on our social media, on our website in advance, but I did want to include it here so you can kind of get an idea of what it feels like to pack for an annual meeting if you've never been. So a bag, obviously, to carry all that swag that I was talking about, your outdoor shoes, camera, comfortable clothing, layers for inside the conference. because again, it does get cold. Your outdoor gear like a hat, insect, or sunscreen for your field sessions that you may be attending, your master naturalist gear and apparel, pins, notebooks and pens to take notes, phone or tablet if you're engaging in some of our iNaturalist or our classroom sessions that may have some um, online portions to them, and those are outlined in those session descriptions, sunglasses, toiletries, water bottle, etc. All right, I did see uh, a question in the chat about parking. So parking at this year's conference is going to be done at the Gene Stallings Boulevard garage. This is directly attached to the Texas A&M Hotel and Conference Center by the second floor bridge that goes from the garage to the conference center. If you are an on-site hotel, if you are an on-site hotel if you have an on-site hotel reservation, your parking is included in your lodging fee. So that's what that second bullet says right there. And that does include in and out privileges with your room key card. If you are a off-site hotel guest, you must pay for your garage or other campus parking options. And the payment information is there on the bottom. It's also linked on our website. This is where I encourage you to carpool or caravan with those other offsite hotel attendees. So those other 3 hotels get together with your master naturalist in the lobby and say, hey, can you drive today? And I'll pay, and vice versa for the following day. Those hourly rates are also, like I said, on the website. You pay via the entry machines or via Park Mobile, and the rates are about $15 per day as of the last time I checked. And then our silent auction, again, I'm jumping around here just a little bit. For our Brazos Valley chapter, we'll be hosting our silent auction this year. This will be hosted during our in our vendor space, where we'll have opportunities for you to donate and then also purchase some items that will help to sponsor or help to provide financial funding for the following year's conference. So we're currently seeking donations from chapters for our silent auction, either naturalist items, travel packages, handcrafted items, themed baskets. And so we'll be sending out that request frequently for those silent auction items. If you already have one in mind, I've got a few that I've been collecting throughout the year, like going to arts and crafts festivals and picking up some things. You'll be dropping those items off when you arrive starting Thursday at 1 o'clock. The auction will stay open until Saturday evening, closed while we're having dinner Saturday, and checkout will start after that. We will be accepting cash, checks, and cards for the silent auction this year. I've gotten some really great stuff from the silent auction, some great prints. Big fan of some of the artwork that I've gotten out of and books out of the last couple of silent auctions. We also have a swap shop that Michelle and I offer every year, as it seems Michelle and I seem to collect lots of master naturalist items and gear that that we need to be able to share with others. It does better out there in the field than it does sitting here in our offices. And so we'll be having this swap shop table again this year with some extras from our state office storage shelves. And so if you have some extra items that you think would be better served out in the field and not sitting in your master naturalist storage that you're not currently using, that you think another chapter might use, please feel free to bring those, and we'll just have that table available for some rotating swapping throughout the conference. Take only what you need and can use within your chapters. All right, that popped up. Our TMN curriculum. So if you are getting ready for your spring 2026 and beyond training classes, you can pre-order your TMN curriculum to pick up in bulk. This year, because we are going to be in College Station, we'll be offering pickup at the A&M Press warehouse, where they will actually be able to load those books into your car for you by pulling up to the warehouse doors. So we'll be sending out the order form for the curriculum bulk orders here shortly. And then the deadline for those orders will be October 1st, so they can get all those boxes labeled and put together. And then they'll be sharing pickup times and windows at the warehouse as well, and location, obviously. not too far from where we'll be at the A&M Hotel. The Leonard Building where A&M Press is, you know, maybe 3-4 blocks away. So pretty easy to get to. We also have a merch pop-up store that we're going to be opening in early September. So similar to what we did last year, as you can see there on the bottom, we had a bunch of different shirts and hats and gear last year. We'll be opening this in early September for 2 weeks, closing those windows and having those, closing that pop-up store purchase about mid-September, September 15th. We'll have, like I mentioned, some Ask Me shirts, like the one that I'm wearing, one of my favorite shirts, polos, fleece jackets, game guard shirts, and a new A&M logo, a new annual meeting logo shirt with our beautiful logo that Hannah designed on the front of that shirt. We're also working with A&M Press with I'm going too fast here. I'm getting all my words mixed up. We're also working with CC Creations and this pop-up store to have some chapter branded options. So it'll, I'm hoping, this is tentative still, that they're going to be able to have in their pop-up store a Master Naturalist polo with your chapter name embroidered below it. So working on that, that's coming soon. Still tentative, and as soon as I have that, we'll be releasing that information. The great part about this year's conference, again, because we are local in College Station, we won't be shipping these items out ahead of time. We'll be having them available for pickup at the conference when you arrive under your name and registration. So you'll be able to save on those shipping costs as well. So our request to you when we get to that point will be to help us spread the word and share this pop-up store link when it is available. Okay, I think I've got about 6 more slides on, oh, I have quite a few more slides on annual meeting. Let me get through this one and then we'll stop and answer some questions. The other question that I've gotten asked a few times is, how can I volunteer at the conference? I need some more volunteer hours to complete my my recertification for this year. Can I volunteer? And the answer is always yes. This year we're having our volunteer coordination done by the local Brazos Valley chapter. There's a variety of different roles that will be available: field session hosts, room hosts, silent auction, registration, and more. Our registration volunteers is currently being filled or started with our El Camino Real chapter. Thank you so much, Carolyn, for your chapter members for volunteering to help get that started for us. Right now, all volunteering slots are going to the local chapter first. So the Brazos Valley chapter is filling those volunteer spots up first. And then as soon as we get those spots filled as much as we can with those folks, about mid-August, we'll be sharing that volunteer link out to everybody else. So sign-up details and instructions will be shared with all chapters soon. And again, thank you in advance for those that are interested in helping to make this year's conference possible. All right, Michelle, I see some questions here.
Yes, there's lots of questions about parking.
Okay.
In and out privileges, parking for the conference, people who are staying offsite at a different hotel and parking. So
yeah, I'm going to go back a couple slides and make sure that I covered that because I was talking really fast. So I apologize. So if you are lodging on site at the conference hotel at the Texas A&M Hotel and Conference Center, your parking is included in your hotel fees. It's included, and you have in and out privileges. If you are not lodging at the A&M Hotel, you are lodging at one of our external hotels, our offsite hotels, or somewhere else local, your parking is not covered, and you will need to pay that upon exit each day that you leave the garage. Right now, the rate is $15 per day. That is the summer 2025 fee that I found. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the same fall 2025 fee. They'll release that September 1st, unfortunately. And we have that direct link on our website for getting those parking fees out there. I did see having a Slack channel for all offsite hotels. That's a great idea, Bob, and I absolutely will do that so that you guys that are staying in those offsite hotels can coordinate carpooling to save on those parking costs. I do understand that that is an additional cost there. that we don't have every year. So I will have a Slack channel for all offsite hotels so that y'all can coordinate that. One of the other things I didn't mention here, this third kind of bullet area, there is more than just the Gene Stallings garage. Gene Stallings garage is the one that's attached to the conference center. We also have the West Campus garage and several surface lots. Some of those have differing prices. So all of that's available on that parking link that we have on our website. I'll make sure that I highlight that in one of our next big emails that I send out as well, so that your members have that readily available. The really cool thing about that parking link that A&M has is it live time tells you how many spots are available, what the current rate is, all of those things. And so, and a map, a clickable map to get you to those parking spots or those parking garages as well. So great questions and great suggestions as well. Offsite parking does not include in and out. So every time you come in and out, you pay based off of those number of hours that you were there. And then Mary Beth's suggestion about bringing an umbrella. College Station has some funny weather. And so yes, definitely bring an umbrella if you are going to a field session or if you're wanting to walk around campus, because there's always a pop-up storm, it feels like. And then Penny's suggestion about Ubering with parking. That's a great idea. Great idea. A&M has some great public transportation as well. Okay. Michelle, I'm going to check through chat while you cover the next couple of slides about milestones, and then I'll come back over here and talk about sponsorships and contests.
Okay. One of the things, if you've been to the annual meeting before, Saturday night, as we mentioned, is our big celebration of everyone who is attending the annual meeting and any milestone that they've reached over the past year since last year's annual meeting. One thing that we need your assistance with is at your local chapter level, working with your VMS administrator to make sure that any milestones that have been crossed over, that they are marked in VMS, because we will use VMS. We will check the list of registrants in VMS and check what their milestone recognitions are. So if you could help ensure that milestone and awards are updated by the 31st of August, and then again by September 30th, our VMS team will be going in and pulling lists of all registrants up to August 31st and checking, and then any registrants after that will be checking again on September 30th. So just please help get and keep the milestone awards and recognition updated in VMS for us. And then just a note, I mentioned that we will be recognizing anyone who's registered and attending the annual meeting. We're recognizing any milestone that they've crossed over since the last annual meeting. So that's what we recognize at the annual meeting.
Michelle, speaking of pins and milestone recognition, Dan has a relevant question in chat about ordering pins for pickup at the conference.
Oh yes, I forgot to mention that, but yes, we will have a like end of the year pre-order that you can do. I don't have that set up yet because I completely forgot about it. Dan, thank you for the reminder. But we'll have a pre-order that we can get set up for you to pre-order the rest of the pins that you need for the rest of the year, and those can be picked up at the annual meeting. Okay, chapter slideshow. Again, every year Donna Cole puts together, one of our Master Notches volunteers puts together a photo slideshow. She requests up to 10 pictures from every chapter. And chapter presidents, or if you could task your historians, if you have one, to start reviewing photos to be submitted for this, getting them in the sooner the better. Our deadline is September 26th, though, for those. We've covered this the last couple meetings. We've sent information out along with the announcement of this meeting today. And so the instructions are there again. And then chapter memorials, if you have members that have passed over the past year since the last annual meeting, we always have a memorial section or a couple of slides with memorials to members. And again, September 26th is the deadline for those as well. A name and photo if you'd like to include a photo.
All right, and then I'll come back on and talk through sponsorships and vendors. And then Michelle, if you'll help me and we can split the contest here in just a second. So sponsorship for the conference is available for those that are interested in supporting this year's annual meeting. We have some wonderful sponsors that have already come forward from several chapters, several partner organizations. And so very grateful for all of the continued support of this year's conference. All sponsorships will receive recognition through flyers, posters, announcements, program documents, and the app as well. And your chapter can be a sponsor if you're interested. We have several levels, all the way from the Friends level through the Naturalist level. And those general contributions are very greatly appreciated. I actually have not updated this recently. We had several come in the last couple of weeks while I was out of the office. So I apologize if I've missed your chapter on here. I will get this updated in the next couple of weeks. But we have, like I mentioned, several partner organizations that have decided to buy into this year's annual meeting and be a sponsor, as well as several chapters as well. So thank you all very much. Vendors, we're excited to have a pretty full vendor room already. I'm getting pretty anxious, but I think we've got some really amazing vendors that have signed up. We have a few spots available still, but we have some great education booths. Like I mentioned, some naturalist related goods, art, and we have some plants. So some great vendor booths this year that we're really excited to have join us in College Station. If you have a vendor in mind that you think needs to be at this year's conference, either selfishly because you want to buy and shop from them, or as a resource for other master naturalists because you think that they need to buy and shop from them, please help share our vendor information packet. It's on our website. We have a commercial vendor rate and a nonprofit vendor rate as well. Okay, so I'll go through the first couple of, there's a fly in here, I'm sorry. I'll go through the first couple of contests and awards, and then I'll ask Michelle to help us cover the last couple.
Actually, there is a question regarding sponsors in the chat. Do sponsors get to attend the conference?
Sponsors are welcome to register for the conference just like everybody else. Unfortunately, we do not offer registration discounts or registration opportunities through sponsorship. I wish that were so. It's part of our budget. Great question though, Dan. Michelle, why don't you do the first two of these contest awards and I'll do the last two.
Okay. September 1st, all of our entries for all of these awards are due September 1st. We have our chapter advisor awards, chapter project fair, our video contest, and the photo art and media contest. Chapter advisors, pretty simple. You can nominate a single advisor or nominate your chapter advisory team. There's a team category and compete for the Advisor of the Year award. All information is on our website. Chapter project fair, we need to have the chapter project fair, your little paragraph. If your chapter is going to submit a project fair entry, we would need to have your little paragraph describing your project to us by September 1st. And then September 9th, those who have submitted a project would be presenting as our TMN Tuesday in September 9th. And the presentations will be about 10 to 15 minutes for those. But again, to enter, all you need to do is submit a paragraph, short paragraph, couple sentences paragraph about what project you would be submitting. I'm also looking for any judges who'd like to participate, potential people who'd like to participate on the judging panel for that. Let me know. If you're, we prefer that the preference is to have people from chapters who do not plan on submitting a project fair entry. But if worst comes to worst, we just ask you to recuse yourself from or be as objective as possible if your chapter does enter something and you are a judge. So again, if you're interested in judging, being a judge on September 9th for the Project Fair contest, let me know.
Okay. And I apologize, I just saw the time, so I'm going to speed through those last couple of things about the annual meeting before we close out. And the recording will be available on our website if you do need to jump off early. Our video contest is also available on our website right now for entry. So that's 1 to 3 minute videos highlighting something that your chapter is working on, a project, your training class, an impact that you've made, an event that you've hosted, or an anniversary year project that you're working on. Those videos can be submitted through that form linked on our website up till September 1st. And then our photo art and media contest is being hosted with our Brazos Valley chapter volunteer this year as chair and committee. So those photos will be entered into a new system, our poll unit system that will get launched on August 1st. And so we're excited to have those photos submitted through this new system available, hopefully easing out some of the tech issues that we had last year with our photo art and media contest. And so that entry window will be August 1st through September 1st. Two last slides, I promise. This is the last 2 slides on the annual meeting. How can I stay up to date if you have chapter members that are asking? Our email listserv is the first place to get all the things. Please make sure that your emails are coming in as regular, so you receive them immediately as they are processed. Some of our members are subscribed to our email listserv in digest form, which means that you get all of the emails at the end of the week in kind of a short digest rather than as they come through the system. So especially this time of year, if you want to switch it to regular and then switch back to digest, you can do that. On our Instagram page, follow us, add us to favorites. And Hannah has some great instructions on how to do that here, turning on your notifications and following. Same thing with Facebook, turn on those notifications and click that following button so that you can be the first to know when we launch registration and have updates about the contests and conference. And then last but not least, we've tried to really bulk up this year's annual meeting communications and information with this meeting today, because we've had a lot of folks say, well, we have new members who have never been to conference and they have lots of questions, or new chapter leaders who have never been to a conference and have lots of questions. So please ask us those questions so that we can make sure that we're putting that information out there on our website, on our app, and we're answering those questions. Because if you have that question, if your chapter member has that question, I guarantee that others do as well. So asking them in the chat now, since we are running over time, put them into the chat or email me afterwards, and I'll make sure that we get those added to our website or I get those answered. Okay, so we have a couple more slides on our general chapter resources that some of these slides you've seen before, some of them are updated and new. Our state website, I'm not going to spend any time here. This is our kitchen sink. Y'all know this well by now. Hannah has some great chapter templates and resources. She has added some recently. While she's not on today's call, she wanted me to make sure that if you still don't have the password, to make sure that you email her. She's added some really great templates that are available, including some of our specialty license plate graphics for folks that want to share that on their individual chapter pages or even on your individual your individual social media page as well. And she's always available by email for different requests. Our WordPress website updates. I did see a question early on. We are still having Events Calendar Pro issues, still working through that. Our team has changed. We had some staffing updates within the tech team at A&M, at AgriLife's web team. So working through that still. And as soon as I have an update, I will share that with you. And our next WordPress, I forgot to move the block down, is August 5th. So next Tuesday is our next Tech Tuesday. regional updates for our regional WebEx accounts. Michelle shared this slide last time, but there have been some login passwords that were updated in April. The Region 5 password was updated again in June. So if you are one of those chapters that is still utilizing the WebEx accounts and has questions, please make sure that you're checking this slide or emailing Michelle if you have questions. And then Michelle, you want to go through the VMS slides?
Yeah, I really don't have a big VMS update. Nothing, there have been some updates just in the last week. It looks like we will be moving towards consolidating with the Parks and Wildlife account first. And again, there's never any dates given on this by the company. But I guess the time frame they mentioned that they're looking at would be the end of August. So I don't have a real great confirmation on that. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll get more information.
Is there anything else on the second slide?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right, rounding out. Oh, please, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay, rounding out today's meeting, just some standard updates and some resources that we have available on our website. And for you as chapter leaders, we have our AgriLife Learn Store. I did do a big restock this last month, and so we have restock available for quite a few items on our website. Dropped off the lanyards yesterday and patches, and so there's quite a few items that were out of stock for a while have been totally restocked. We are also in tandem having a summer sale to purge some of those items that we've had for a while. So there's sale anywhere from 10% all the way up to 50% off several of our items on our AgriLife Learn Store. We are going to end that at the end of July, which is the end of this week. So make sure that you're checking that out now so that you can get your TMN gear and get ready for the conference in October. We also have our license plates. We mentioned this last month, but we did reach our 800th license plate sold. That's a milestone by the DMV standards to be able to have 800 license plates sold. It gets us our initial deposit for creation back. And so we're excited about that milestone that we reached as of Q2 in 2025. I'll have a Q3 number for you on our next call. And then our Master Naturalist Endowment, again, is still available for those individuals that are starting to plan for your end of year giving season, your individual gifts, memorial or honorary gifts of individual members that may have passed, chapter gifts, even employee gift matching is available. So if you're an employee, either current or retired from a company that has gift matching, please check out our website. We actually have a handy tool for you to be able to search your company name and see what the employee gift matching procedure and protocol is for our Master Naturalist Endowment or estate planning as well. Our chapter challenge is still ongoing. I actually do need to send out another reminder about this as we're getting closer to the conference, but our Heartwood chapter did lead this early on in the year, and so we're thankful for them and their input into the endowment. Okay. Last but not least, we are into we're getting ready for our August 26th chapter presidents and advisors meeting. We have several things happening through August. This is now when the snowball starts for our state office, and all the big things start to happen towards the end of the year. And we appreciate your patience with an overly long meeting today, as we had lots of updates that we wanted to make sure we shared with y'all. And then Michelle, did we get everything covered for today?
This chapter or this slide hasn't been updated, but there are a couple of questions in the chat. One question asks about the updated timeline for the chapter documents or program documents, and I don't remember the timeline we had on presenting those to everybody.
So our goal was to have the updated, our internal goal within our staff team was to have those updated documents available to share at our chapter presidents meeting in October at the conference, so that we could walk through those updates. If there were major updates to our chapter documents, our governing documents, have those available in October to discuss, but no governing procedures would take place or would become enacted until January 1st. So no updated orders of action and bylaws or CMOP would happen until January 1st.
And then the other question is, what is the endowment spent on?
So right now we are still in endowment growth stage. So our Master Naturalist Endowment is in its snowball phase of its life. So we are currently building, and then we'll be building out opportunities for that endowment to provide funding for a variety of different ideas that we have with input from chapter leaders like yourself. We'll be pulling that team together once we reach that cumulative point and we're ready to start to put those dollars out into project grants, into different annual meeting, travel stipends, lots of different things, scholarships, resources, lots of different ideas that we've created, but no solid direction until we get to that cumulative goal first.
And then Carolyn asked, what day is sign up day? And I assume, Carolyn, you mean for the annual meeting. And so just as parting words, Mary Pearl, you want to cover that again?
That's what I mean. I was just trying to get a head start.
Yeah. So all the literature has the first week of August, and the hope is to open it up on August 1st. I'm telling y'all that as a friend here, as much as I want to tell you all the things, I like hope or hell what is it, hell or high water, want to open registration on August 1st. We have had several tech issues in the past. And so as soon as I say an exact date, something is going to go wrong, and I have not knocked on enough wood or put my 4-leaf clover out as much as I need to. So I can't give you an exact date and time, Carolyn, but do hope to open it at the end of this week. Sorry to be wishy-washy. We've been burned a few times. All right. I don't see any other questions in chat, but really appreciate y'all sticking with us for the extra long meeting. And as always, we'll get the recording and the slides on the website this afternoon, if not first thing tomorrow morning. And appreciate all y'all's input. Thank y'all. I'm going to grab this chat because it's got some great questions in it.